We are Gathering of the Geeks. We're a podcast and a YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one about SDCC Part 2. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso and my coach Beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
Yeah. I had to go back and look to see if we talked about Comic-Con last year.
I noticed the part 2, yeah.
Part 2, so I realized, we did do a show last year. Don't remember what we talked about, of course, but
we loved it all.
Ago. Yeah. Of course, that's
everything.
Gathering of the Geeks. It's available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All you have to do is search for Gathering of the Geeks, and you'll find us right there. What's up, Cookie? What's there, Eric? How's it going on this fine Sunday evening? Chris, what's your stance on the Olympics? Are you watching the Olympics? Do you follow the Olympics? Are you reading about it in the morning when you wake up? What's your policy on the Olympics?
None of that. I know they exist. I know they skate a lot. I like the fencing, even though I don't watch it. I like that it's there because I want to do fencing.
Just reminds you of Die Another Day.
No. No, it reminds me of every sword fight I actually enjoy. Mostly Musketeers and all the thousands of Musketeer movies, Three Musketeer films. No, I don't watch any of the Olympics. And it's funny because my mother is a gigantic Olympics fan. Mm-hmm. So, growing up when they were on, they were all over our house. Mm-hmm. You cannot escape the Olympics in my house. And also a friend of mine loves the Olympics, but it's not something I ever got into.
You don't remember anything from your, you're saying if you had it on, do you have any early Olympics memories that you can think of when you were younger?
I wanted them to turn off. I wanted to watch something else.
Make it end.
Yeah, so I would basically I would just be in my room with my own TV watching whatever wasn't Olympics. I did want to see the opening ceremony. Like he says, the opening ceremony was awesome. I want to see Lady Gaga because she was there.
Yeah, I missed
that. Celine Dion was there. I don't love Celine Dion, but I think I actually am growing into it. All by myself
she's back singing again. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Break dancing? Is that a ceremony thing? Is there another ceremony happening?
Or are you talking? Is that an event? No way, breakdancing is an event this year.
Holy I don't know. God. I think esports is an event this year, isn't it? Like gaming?
Really?
I think so.
Holy, I gotta find out how to watch that.
I'm not sure. It says Emmet is literally the North Face of this dynamic duo. Yes. No, I think we might have to replace the Ted Lasso thing. Maybe.
Why?
We might be more Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know. We'll see. No, we'll stick with the Ted Lasso. I love Ted Lasso. We all strive to be that, so we'll do that.
Yes, we do.
But maybe tonight will be Deadpool. Mm-hmm. Although I'm not really Deadpool. I'm not vulgar. Anyway, do you like the Olympics?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Olympics. Obviously, summer's a little bit different for us Canadians, where we're okay and we get a couple of medals. We already got a couple so far, but the Winter Olympics, that's where we really shine. So that's. But I love watching them. I think
constant. I don't over there.
Yeah, that's right. I love watching Olympics. I think it's a good. I remember I think it was 2 Winter Olympics ago. I was in university, and the Winter Olympics were in Vancouver that year, and that was a crazy moment for us Canadians. And I was in a what do you call it? A house, just staying with other people that go to university, a dorm or whatever, and we were all just kind of sitting around and having drinks and just watching the Olympics. So I think it's a good group thing to watch. But I like even the Summer Olympics last time, 4 years ago. If depends where it is, depends what the time zone is like. Paris isn't so bad, so I can watch it. But I think I can't remember whether there was one last year or not last time, but it was in Japan or something, and it was
Beijing.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just you can't. I think it sounds made up, but it also could be very true. So we'll just go with it. So it's hard. Yeah. Not in the Winter Olympics, I don't
Okay.
think. But it's hard to watch it sometimes. Like how we can watch replays or whatever, and it's on
Mhm.
600 different channels. So there's usually always something on that will play replays. But yeah, I like the Olympics. I like watching them. Depends on the event. But yeah,
That's
I can dig it.
yeah, Eric's. It depends on the sport for him too. He likes mostly women's soccer. His mom is a huge Olympic gymnastics fan. Mine loved ice skating. I don't think she's ever been ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like me with fencing, but I don't want to watch the fencing either. So I don't know. Zadie said Brett screwed Brett. Indeed, he did, but we can't talk about
Yeah,
that.
we're not talking about that.
Bye, bye, bye. Oh, they do have a breakdancing event. Okay.
Holy cow, that's wicked.
Yeah, maybe there's some there is hope for me to get to the Olympics one day if they ever do it in Texas. Hey Aaron, hey team, how deep are we going into Deadpool Wolverine? I haven't seen it. Absolute bonkers weekend at work. I won't talk spoilers, I promise. I'll keep it clean. Emmet is the king of the north. Yes. Hey Wesley, how's it going?
Hello.
Eric says, but the Deadpool Wolverine comparison won't work only because one of you is Canadian. Yes, and we are. One of us is not vulgar. So,
Yeah, nobody wants to be Deadpool in this comparison.
Yeah, no.
It'd be Wolverine and Wolverine.
More of a Winter Olympics guy too, and Wolverine is Australian. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Good day, mate. That's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna be Australian.
Oh, good.
I should have thought that through before though. Where's the adamantium at? I got it. It's over there. I brought out my Wolverine book. Emma got me.
It's a special occasion, man.
Yeah.
All right. So aside from obviously Deadpool and Wolverine, what else do you get up to this week? And we'll talk about Comic-Con towards the end. So yeah, what'd you get up to?
I got up to a little bit of stuff. On the reads, there was a book. So I think it was Wednesday night. I told you there's not a lot to read except Dick Tracy and Ninja Turtles. And you're like, well, read this. I don't even remember what the name of it is. Epitaph or
Epitaphs
something?
from the Abyss. Epitaphs from the Abyss.
Okay. So I got it, right? And I'm reading. I was like, okay, the first page is really cool. It's like this Crypt Keeper dude, and he's basically the Crypt Keeper. Like, welcome. We're gonna tell scary stories. And I was all in on it. I've had 2 Red Bulls, by the way. I was all in.
He's just vibrating.
Yeah. So I was really excited about that because like, okay, this is fun already. I like this. And then I read the first story. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then it turns into a political. It's an anthology. For you guys who don't know what this book is, it's a horror anthology thing. And so the first story was cool. Second story is like a weird political thing. Wasn't into it. And then the next story was really cool again. Then the final story, I don't even know what the hell that was.
You hate Brian Azzarello?
I think I do hate Brian Azzarello. I'm pretty
I knew
sure
when I
I
was
do.
reading it, I'm like, Chris is not gonna like this.
No, I don't think I like Brian Azzarello. I like Joker, and I think that's where we draw the line. Because I don't know if I've ever read anything else from Brian Azzarello that I like. And the art did not help. I felt like I was watching a B movie from, I don't know, James Gunn, The Spirit of James Gunn in 1994.
The spirit of.
Yeah, it's like some kind of Toxic Avenger bullshit. I didn't like it. So 2 out of 4 work for me. I think one of the ones I liked was written by Stephanie Meyer, I believe. But that's where I stand with that book. It was okay, I guess, if you like 2 out of 4. But they sold me on a concept that is not there. And even like the cool Crypt Keeper guy pops up before the last story. You're like, okay, he's back. He's gonna do something awesome. He doesn't.
No,
he does not.
It's such a tricky thing with like anthologies, and I read another anthology this week. But it's 100% of them are, or like every story in an anthology is never a good thing, or not all of them are always good.
No,
like it's always like you get a 50% or 25% chance at it. So I think I like more. There was only 3 in this one, wasn't there?
There's 4. There's Us versus Us, Senator. I don't know what the one with the family and the.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm through. I forgot about the Senator. So I'm 3 out of 4. I didn't like the Senator one, but all the other ones I liked. in various degrees. But yeah, the anthology it's always hard because you never get good consistency with them.
Have you ever watched Tales from the Hood? I'm guessing that's a no.
No, but I want to know where this is going now.
Okay. Tales from the Hood is a horror anthology movie, much like Trick or Treat, which I think is a 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen Trick or Treat, get ready this October. It's a good time. Tales from the Hood is not as good as Trick or Treat, but it is an anthology. It's a lesser anthology. Still better done than this. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's funny. This wasn't really funny.
No, there was not too many laughs. That's for
It
sure.
was not a barrel of monkeys. I was promised Crypt Keeper bullshit, and that's not what I got.
Yeah. It's not what I got.
It's not what I got. I'm not
Fair
into
enough.
it. Brian Azzarello, go home.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. And then I checked out the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book from Jason Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
and that was fantastic. I really like that. And yeah, Phil is correct. Trick or Treat is immaculate. But yeah, Ninja Turtles was really cool. I think I have only read one Ninja Turtle story before, and it was the crossover with Batman, and that was a
Right.
lot of fun. I liked it a lot. I think Tynan killed it with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you and I have talked about before we want to read Ninja Turtles, but there's no place to jump on from. It feels like these characters have been ongoing since the 80s, and
Yeah.
there's never
40
a
years.
good there's ever a good time to say, okay, I'm going to start here, unless you start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a jumping on point, and it is a good time. It focuses on Raphael for this first issue, and he's in prison. This is not a spoiler, I'm sure. It's in the log line. And it's pretty cool to see it unfold the way it does. It's a little more violent than I thought it would be. I'm also used to the Ninja Turtles eating pizza and skateboarding in the sewer.
Exactly.
This is not that, but it is
Nope.
good. And I like the art a
I,
lot.
yeah, so I agree with mostly everything you said, and I think why I didn't enjoy the issue I read it as well, is because I didn't read that log line.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
did not.
oh,
A
this
friend
is
told me.
yeah, okay. So I'm like, oh, this is a good jumping on point for Ninja Turtle for anybody looking to read a Ninja Turtles book, and I don't agree that it was for me because there is no team, there is no Ninja Turtles like there is in like some flashbacky type deals, but it's
Teenage
mostly
Mutant
just
Ninja
Raph.
Turtle.
Yeah, exactly. Teenage Mutant, and apparently that's how these first four couple issues are going to go,
Oh,
where
okay.
it's all centered on a individual Ninja Turtle. So I have to get my head wrapped around that. But I liked, I, I think I liked where they were going with it. Um, Jason Aaron is one of those wordsmiths where he just writes and writes and writes and writes and writes. Oh, there you go, Chris. You're gone again.
I'm in the Matrix.
Yeah, he's in the Matrix. So I just have to wrap my head around what the book is because I was expecting they sold us on a jumping on point, and I was expecting like a reboot of sorts of of
But I
of the
think it is.
characters, and
Is it not?
eventually it's yeah. Well, I don't know that. I guess maybe after the single turtles get each of their own issue, then there'll be a team again. But that's just in my head. I was thinking, okay, they're a team. They're gonna be fighting crime and eating pizza and skateboarding through the sewers. And there's there's Splinter and there's Shredder and all that good stuff. And
I think
it's not
Shredder's not
there.
around.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think that's just where we're at yet, and it's on me for having different expectations of what the book actually is because I think the craft of the book is very good, particularly the art. I think Jerry said Aaron writes too much, but I think the art
He's
is
a
there for
chatty
sure.
fella.
Yeah,
And those covers from Bermejo are gorgeous. I wanted to track
yep.
one down, but then I thought about it. I don't care that much. First of all,
Nope.
it's going to get thrown in the pile, so there's no need for it. One quick thing. Aaron says, "Watched Arcadian." Oh, you thought? How was Arcadian? I haven't sat down to watch it yet. I'm going to keep up with this book though. I'm excited to read a Ninja Turtle story, and I feel like the comics have been. I always see people talking about them, and I always want to read them, but like I said, they're just not a good jumping on point. Whether this is or not, I guess we'll see. There are seeds here that I didn't quite get. Like I know who Karai is, or I don't know how to pronounce it. I know who she is, but I don't know where Shredder is or what's going on exactly. But I guess that's part of this book. You have to see where it's going.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah. So I'm in. I'm in though. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot actually. So,
It's about the journey, I think, a lot
yes, it is
in those
about the
first couple
journey.
issues.
We'll get to the destination. Just enjoy the journey.
That's right.
Not the music journey, even though I do enjoy the music.
Yeah, you
Don't
can
stop
do that
believing.
anytime you want.
Yeah, don't stop believing. That's all I read. What'd you
read? So I read those two, and then I read another anthology, another horror anthology. This one's called Hello Darkness from Boom Studios. It had how many? It felt like it had 600 stories in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Is that
6,
the book
7
that
stories.
Cookie read too? I think she posted about.
I'm not sure. It's got some creatives with Garth Ennis, Becky Cloonan, James Tynan, Steve Orlando, and it's got the same kind of problem that any other anthologies than the one we just talked about with Epitaphs of Abyss, that it's just kind of a mixed bag. But it
It
was
doesn't
kind
have
of
Azarillo, so
yeah, exactly. So that picks you up right then and there. One of the interesting things about it, it's got a story from James Tynan of the Something is Killing the Children in this book, even though Something Killing the Children is still ongoing. I'm not caught up on Something is Killing the Children, so I'm interested to see where this particular anthology story goes, or if it's going anywhere, if it's just a separate thing as well. Nice.
Yeah, that is on. Cookie said I loved it. Hello Darkness overall, some misses for sure.
Yeah, but like kind of like with the epitaphs, it started off pretty hot and heavy. Not hot and heavy, like sexually, but dead wise.
With the crimson what?
Yeah, exactly. Hello Darkness starts off pretty quickly as well with kids killing their parents. So it really exactly it really goes pretty hard right off the start. And it's kind of interesting that 2 horror anthologies released the same week, 2 different publishers, and both of them I enjoyed throughout, and that was kind of interesting. And it's funny. I joke to myself and I laugh to myself every time you, Phil, and anyone talks about it's spooky season already. It's like, oh well, the comics think so too. So
it is spooky. What do you mean? It is.
Yeah,
4th of July is over. It is.
It's just. I guess that's the comics agree with you.
They do.
It's now time to get into horror mode.
I think the world agrees.
I want to watch a horror movie, but it just needs to be on streaming, and I have to watch it during the day.
See, Phil's with me. It's spooky season.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys are all biased. I can't.
Hashtag
You guys
spooky bros.
All right, so that was it for my reads, as well as so I read, I think that was it, 3 books this week. Yep, that's it. What about some watches? What'd you watch?
Long legs.
That's it.
I love long legs. I forgot to mention actually last week, Phil invited me on his podcast, Phil to Movies, and we talked about long legs. If you guys haven't checked it out, you might enjoy it if you like the movie. Also, just follow Phil's podcast because it's awesome. I forgot to mention that last week. As far as the watches go, long legs. I wish we had a clip of Nicolas Cage singing that damn song. I'm gonna have to get it, but I don't know how often we can play it because it's weird.
I'm sure you'll find some time.
I will. I just have to wait to get it. Don't you worry. I did have a few watches. I rewatched Abigail.
Ooh.
Because I just wanted to. I was actually going to watch the new Bad Boys because it hit streaming, and I realized I am too tired. I should probably just watch a few minutes of Abigail, some choice bits of it, and then go to sleep. I watched it start to finish at 3 a.m.
That's so good.
It is good. It's fun. It really is. I got some new gifts too. I haven't used yet on Twitter, but I will. So I watched that, and I rewatched the first Twister because I meant to get to Twisters. I did not, but Twister 1 held up pretty well.
Twister 1.
Yeah, Twister 1.
It's just funny to say.
Is that what we call it now, or is it still just Twist? I guess it's just Twister, right?
It just Twisters.
Just Twister?
Yeah, just Twister.
1 Twister, 2 Twister, Twisters.
Yeah.
The Tornado movie.
That's right.
So it's still fun. I think that I mean, if you liked it then, you're gonna like it now. I think Twister just holds up well enough.
I think so.
And I kind of forgot how many people die in that movie. Like Carrie, his whole team they're all dead. It's like
Uh-huh.
20 people die. It's amazing because the movie just keeps going.
Just a massacre.
Yeah, it was a massacre, and if they only would have listened to Bill Paxton.
Don't do Shouldn't we all?
Not in every movie. Like, have you seen Near Dark? You don't want to
Oh
listen to
yeah,
Bill
yeah,
Paxton.
yeah.
Or Alien. You don't
Yeah,
want
he's
to listen
not the
to
most savvy in Aliens either, but
Weird Science. Don't listen to Bill Paxton unless it's with tornadoes.
yeah, Terminator 1, I wouldn't take his advice in that movie. Yeah.
No. Maybe when he's chatting, he's the monster thing at the end. I'd like to know what wisdom he has. So yeah, Twister one, Twister. That
Hmm.
was fun. Miss I miss Philip Seymour Hoffman. Then I
Hmm.
watched Deadpool one. That
Okay.
is Deadpool one. I
Yes.
watched that just in.
Yeah.
I watched that one just in case. Like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna need to remember everything, and I haven't seen that one as recently as two. So I
Okay.
checked that out. I actually liked it more than I remembered because that like I prefer the second one, but the first one is fun. It just there's really no story. It's just a string of jokes, some violence, and Colossus is there
Yeah, that's right.
for 2 hours.
Hmm.
It was fun rewatching it though. I guess because it's been so long, I forgot most of what made it fun, most of the jokes and everything. So it's like a whole new experience to me.
Hmm.
So that was good. And then, I mean, do we want to get into the meat and potatoes here, or
Go for it, man.
I've seen Deadpool and
It,
Wolverine
it's
twice.
a one-sided conversation. I have not seen it, and I won't see it for a while. So.
I wish you would change your mind. um, I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine twice, and I love
Hmm.
it. I love this silly movie. I think it is surprisingly the plot was better than I thought it was going to be. I assumed it was going to be like Deadpool 1, where it's
Right.
just a series of jokes with some action. I made a banner there too.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, let's LFGC Deadpool and Wolverine again.
I got it.
So yeah, it's a deeper plot than I expected. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. This was probably his best performance because I think he had more to do. Like there's actually, I mean, the second one had stakes for him too, but I feel like this one there's a little bit more, so it's dialed up. You also have probably the best director of the three films with Sean Levy.
Hmm.
I like Sean Levy anyway. I think he's really talented. I like most of the films I've seen from him. Like Real Steel surprised the hell out of me. I remember when I
Yeah.
came, I was like, well, I don't want to watch Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And then I watched, I was like, I love this thing.
Hmm.
So this movie follows suit. The action is amazing, in my opinion. The cameos are cool. I'm not going to spoil any of them. But
Hmm.
I will say this if you have been spoiled by a cameo, they're really not that important to the story and they don't
Hmm.
spoil the important stuff. That's if you have been spoiled by them already. Or if you
Hmm.
just don't care, I mean, check it out. The real thing in the conversation, though, the king has returned. Wolverine is back. Hugh Jackman delivers a stellar performance, probably my favorite Wolverine performance from him, because I feel like this is the most comic accurate one.
Hmm.
He's very upset. He's also very violent, but he's still charismatic and heroic. That's Wolverine.
Hmm.
And he gets some genuine laughs. And there's a scene I'm not going to spoil, but he kind of just goes off in a way verbally,
Hmm.
and it's magic. It is just wonderful. The suit looks great. I actually don't love the cowl, which surprised some people when I said that.
Hmm.
The issue being the eyes are not animated as much as Deadpool's eyes, so they're static a lot of the time. And when he's talking, it looks bizarre, is the way I could explain it. It is
Hmm.
doesn't something's not right. But when he's moving and when the eyes are actually animated, it looks fantastic. I think that it is one of the better comic book translations to film, and not just because it's Wolverine, but they actually took a yellow suit. It's bright yellow with blue stripes, and it's on screen now, and it doesn't look that goofy, especially when it's covered in blood. So it's pretty cool.
So you said you watched it twice. Do you feel like you, aside from wanting to, do you feel it really helped your viewing of it? Did
I
you
just
miss
wanted to.
anything?
No, I just
Yeah, but
wanted
you didn't
Oh,
miss anything?
I
Like,
missed a
you
couple
feel like
lines
the
of.
second one helped?
Yeah, I did miss a couple lines of dialogue because the audience that I was with the first time, they were much more receptive to the jokes.
Hmm.
So you don't hear a line or two, and then the second time the audience was a little bit more quiet.
Hmm.
Not that they didn't like it, I guess, but they were just not as into the humor
Hmm.
at points. So I got to hear some of it a little bit better, which was nice. Also, there's a fun thing about my second theater experience that I guess we can get to now, because if not, I'm just going to keep gushing about Wolverine.
We got time.
We do, and I'll get back to it. But there was this couple that sat next to me, and they smuggled food in. Now everybody does this. It happens. I don't care. You do you. But what made this couple different was, so the movie is on. I'm into the movie. I hear like a metal fork clanging against a bowl, like a real bowl. And I look over, like just kind of glance, because I don't. I just glance. They had like a real like dinner, like they brought china from home. They were just eating. Like, why did you bring like a plastic bowl or Tupperware? Why do you have your
Yeah.
actual bowl and fork here, man?
Fine China.
They had fine china in the theater. I was like, oh, that is different. There was also Indian food, which has a
Oh,
very
yeah,
distinct smell,
smelly. Yeah.
which I like Indian food, so it didn't really bother me. But I was like, that
Mm-hmm.
is something. You are brave, sir. You two are brave. As brave as Wolverine is at the end of this movie.
There you go.
It's just wonderful. It was a wonderful experience.
Good. Your expectations were quite high for the movie going in, so it's kind of nice that you actually got fulfilled in that sense. Like, it could
Yeah,
have went
yeah.
the other way. That would have been a bummer.
I
Recently, there was something. What was it recently that happened?
Maxine.
Yeah, that's right.
Maxine broke my heart.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even want to watch it again. After it's settled now, I'm like, I don't need to see this again.
Uh-huh.
But no, Deadpool Wolverine actually exceeded them a little bit, because my expectations for the movie were really just, I want to be entertained by Wolverine. That's
Mhm.
really all I cared about.
Yeah.
I want to see him in the suit, cutting people up, make him say "bub" a couple times. I'm cool. But the movie is it's better than I expected it to be, because it does have a decent story. I like the story
Mhm.
a lot, um, and I really enjoyed Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So it
Hmm.
was a win-win for me. Also, the opening is really, really cool, I think.
Hmm. There you go. Did you get the Joker 2 trailer at the start of it?
I did.
Yeah, how did that look on the big screen?
Looks magnificent
Mm-hmm.
for a movie that I was not excited about.
Yeah.
Going from the first one, I think the new one looks really good, and the
Nice.
trailer is a beauty on a Dolby screen.
Mm.
I'm very excited to see what that movie is.
Nice.
Also, Harvey Dent's in it, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's right. Was that the only big trailer that was with it? Do you remember what other ones were? Because I feel like that was the only one released in the past week.
I know the Captain America trailer was with it, and they altered it because of the shooting thing. That was there, but I don't really care for that trailer. The rest of it's kind of a blur. I don't know. I was kind of waiting to get to the movie. I was pretty anxious.
Go away, Nicole Kidman. Just give me the movie.
Yeah, I don't need you right now. Take your dead eyes somewhere else. Like, I think the dead eyes is what they're called in It. Isn't that what it is? Dead eyes or something?
I don't recall.
It's this. It's like when they get their eyes start glowing. I think it's called dead eyes.
Mm.
I can't remember right now. I'm kind of manic from the energy drinks. I don't know.
Are you going to see it again?
Yes, I am. Send in the
comments.
Nice. Oh, dead lights, not dead eyes. Dead lights makes more sense because their eyes light up. Well, Nicole Kidman has dead eyes, and I don't think that's her face.
Oh, definitely not her face.
No, I think that is a mask or something. She looks more like the Jigsaw puppet. I'm not picking on the lady. She's a beautiful lady.
No, she's like Tom Cruise in Vanilla Sky. He's got that.
Yes.
That mask.
Yes, that is what. It's her own Vanilla Sky. I imagine she wakes up after that. Where am I? Is this my life? I don't know. But go away, Nicole Kidman.
Well, that's good. I'm glad and happy that you enjoyed the movie, because
I did.
being excited about something and then it not working out sucks. So I'm glad it all worked out for you.
Yeah, and I'll see it again probably this week.
Sweet.
Aaron says arcading was good. The monsters were very weird. Remind me of the wolves and storks. I don't. What storks? Wesley says Deadpool Wolverine, definitely one of my favorite movies of the year after seeing it again. Yeah, it's probably my number one, but I expected it to be. I
Doctor.
was hoping. It's really fun. I think you'll probably hate it, but it's fun.
That's why I'm not watching it.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to enjoy it, but it's really fun. I would hope that you enjoy it.
Well, just hearing you say that you were surprised by Ryan Reynolds' aspect in it, because that's the holdup for me. It's not Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, and it's just Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I just cannot stand.
He's still Deadpool, but there's a
Yeah.
little bit of a deeper work there. I think it is thanks to Sean Levy.
Sure.
Maybe the love of it will find your heart and embrace it.
I'll let you know when it hits streaming in a month or two.
Yes.
Although it's making gangbusters money, so who knows?
We'll revisit this conversation, and we'll see if you embrace the love.
Yes.
That's all I watched, though.
It's all right. It's good enough.
It is.
I watched the season finale of The Boys, which I loved. I mentioned before when Gen V was on how much I liked that show. There was some inclusion of the Gen V characters in the finale of The Boys, and another episode. I think it was the penultimate episode as well. So that was kind of cool. Really, really excited about where The Boys is going, even after what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con with another spinoff coming. But I really enjoyed this season of The Boys, and I really enjoyed the ending of this season. So that was like 2 weeks ago it aired, and I just got caught up this week. I think I watched it last Sunday after the show. Another show that I watched this week was the new half season of Cobra Kai on Netflix. 5 episodes released now, and we're going to get another 5. I'm not sure when. I love Cobra Kai. I love everything about the show. I love how goofy it is. I love the fight scenes. I love that it's just kids that are supposed to be in high school beating the shit out of each other.
When you say it's supposed to be in high school, you mean they're...
Well, these kids are not. They're not 14.
Are we talking like Chris O'Donnell and Batman Forever?
Well, it's what's his name, Zolo, Blue Beetle.
He can pass, I think, for like a 17-year-old.
I don't know how old he is. I have to look.
He's probably 35, but he could pass.
he's 23.
Okay, yeah, there you go. He's only a little bit ugly.
Not horrible.
No,
who else is worse? Peyton List. How old is she?
She looks.
She's 26.
Yeah. She's like
so, anyways, that's all good fun. They are talking about going to college and university at this point, but it's still good fun. I think it's funny. I like the callbacks to the original movies, which I am a big fan of. I like the fight scenes. I like the stupid comedy that it has. I've liked the show since it came out, and I'm just happy that it's. I think this is the final season for it as well.
I think so. I
remember correctly. So I think it's really going to go off on a good, fun note with the next half of the season that's released soon. I'm not sure when they're doing it.
Why is it half a season? Is that
story wise? It makes sense,
okay.
But I don't know why they split it up that way. If they,
it's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, exactly. It ends on a cliffhanger for sure. But I just don't know if they did that for they needed more time, or they just wanted to space it out, or they wanted to have a little bit more traction with their shows. Netflix is the dump, and then people forget about it in a week. I didn't even know that the show was out. I was just scrolling Netflix one late night this week and said, "Oh, there's the new season," so I put it on. I didn't even know that it was out yet.
Netflix, I think they've just given up on advertising their stuff because they know
why
people do exactly what you did. I'm going to scroll and find it anyway, so why am I going to put $1 million into this?
Yeah, that was my thought as well. It's like, okay, well, they got me. Like, they still got me to watch it, even though I didn't see a single. I don't even think I saw a trailer for it. when it was announced that they were doing the season. So
Hmm.
yeah, Netflix, they're those bastards.
Sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches. Yeah, so that was my two TV shows watched this week, and the movie that I watched this week was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes,
Oh, I like that one.
which I was happy to finally get to. I watched it with my son actually on Thursday, which he's a big fan of the Apes movies. The only problem was he asked me every 10 minutes when Caesar going to come, when Caesar coming back. I'm like, son, he died. Remember?
Bro,
Remember in war,
Caesar's
he
gone.
did, and this is hundreds of years later. So it took a little while to get the understanding that this is not Caesar anymore. But it was good. It's an interesting movie though that it feels like two movies in some senses. Everything before they get to Proximus's camp or whatever it is, and then everything after that. So I like everything
Okay.
before they get to Proximus. I didn't find the Proximus character and his whole plan interesting at all.
Oh, really? You didn't like
Yeah,
Proximus?
I didn't like the Proximus. I didn't like the what the William H. Macy character. I didn't like anything to really do with trying to get in that bunker because I knew what was in that bunker. It was just a military base. I knew that what's her name, Nova Mary, was going into there to get the stuff to talk to more humans around the world, which is exactly what I did not care about, and what I don't care about is more humans talking, more apes fighting humans. You know, we talked about this a little while ago. Is I've moved on from Planet of the Apes being just apes versus humans. You know, give me the freaks, give me the mutants, give me the beneath the Planet of the Apes aspect of it. But
That's
everything
going to check out.
exactly, that's what I was thinking too. But everything before, like the stuff with the hawks, I thought was a really interesting idea. Like the clans, different
Mhm.
clans do
I like
different
that
things. I
too.
really like that idea. And even I think the character's name's Noah. Um,
Yeah.
the main character, his like journey to get to find his family and all that stuff when he runs into Rocca, and Rocca's talking about Caesar and who Caesar is. And even when Noah's going along, or when the Proximus's clan or whatever attacks everyone, and they say for Caesar, I was like, oh, that's a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
That
Like a cult.
there are different, yeah, exactly, different ways that they are seeing who Caesar was. I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting idea. This is when we got to Proximus and we got to getting into this vault in the bunker. I didn't really dig what was happening. The action scene is very good when the water comes in, and that big huge ass gorilla is chasing Noah through the like underneath, and
That was
no
cool.
no getting away from him, and like leads him, and he gets stuck, and like I really like that idea. I also like that when an interesting thing about the ending of War of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, there's always a big battle at the end.
Mhm.
Like Caesar fights Koba at the end of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Like he's, Koba's a battle tested warrior. Caesar is the leader of the thing, and Noah is just a regular person, kind of like he doesn't know how to fight, and he really doesn't, which I thought
No.
was really cool. It's not like him and Proximus are duking it out or whatever.
I
It's
was
just
kind of
like,
wondering if they were going to have them do that, so I'm glad they
and that wouldn't
didn't.
have worked because Proximus would have murdered him. So I like the idea that Noah was just a regular ape, like he's like a teenager or whatever. He's not a battle tested warrior like Caesar was. So the idea of the Hawks coming in and doing their thing, I really enjoyed that idea of it. Um, but I just could have done without the human talking to humans and more humans being involved and this, that, and the other thing.
The ending kind of reminds me of, I forgot what Transformers movie it is, but Optimus basically sends the signal out. Autobots, we are here,
That's
or whatever the
right.
hell he says.
That's right.
It's kind of the same thing,
Yep.
except there is no Optimus Prime. It's
We hope one day that there'll just be a movie and there'll be
that is the
Optimus Prime in it.
crossover. What is it? Beast Wars? Is that what that thing is called?
Rise of the Beast, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Let's do that. On the Planet
All
of
of
the
a
Apes.
sudden, an ape just turns into a bicycle or
Or a
whatever.
car or something.
Yeah,
Where have
that'd be
you been
great.
hiding that?
Visually, the movie is incredible. Like whatever they're doing with these apes, like it looks too good.
It
Like it looks
actually,
real life. Like it's so good.
and you watch that, and this is just my own opinion. I don't pick on CGI very often,
Yeah.
But when you have a movie that looks like this,
Hmm.
there is no excuse for some of these other films. Because
Yeah.
yes, I understand this is a high budget movie and the
Hmm.
budget goes to the CGI. You're
Yeah.
telling me you can't, with a quarter of the or 10% of their budget, create a CGI character that looks one CGI character that looks as decent as these things.
Hmm.
Because there is like toward the end of the movie, there's that scene when Proximus is giving the speech, glorious day and all that crap.
Hmm.
And there are so many characters on screen and they're all distinct. It's not just okay, let's copy and paste.
Yeah.
They're all distinct and they look
Hmm.
amazing. It is a glorious day. So it
Yeah.
just kind of that Planet Day is one of the movies that kind of bug me in that way. Like,
Hmm.
why can't you do this?
Yeah. Right.
Or like you watch Jurassic Park. Why can't you make a T-Rex look like that anymore?
That's right. Yeah. So I'm glad I watched it. My son had a really good time with it. It's not much else. I think when you watched it, you were excited to see where it goes,
Yes,
and
I am.
I'm not excited to see where it goes, but I
Well,
like
you
this
want
Noah
mutants.
character. Yeah, that's right. I want mutants with big heads who can read minds and
I just
go.
want
So
what we saw.
yeah, but I like the Noah character a
Mhm.
lot. I really like the main character and everything that they got going on. So it's funny to think about Planet of the Apes without humans. Um, when you think about Godzilla movie without humans, but I wonder how if we. And I actually think there was the right amount of humans in Kingdom. Like
Yeah.
Mary was pretty much the only one who really did anything. William H Macy was there, but then he got what he deserved.
Did he?
Um, yeah. But I wonder how if they keep going in that direction. Just keep it more ape focused and less human focused, because I really think that's where it works, and that's what I love so much about Dawn is
Mm.
Koba and Caesar.
Yeah.
Like they are that movie to me, even though like there's Gary Oldman and what's his name, the other guy.
Gary Oldman's in that?
Yeah.
Is he one of the apes?
No, he's a human.
Is he?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's the leader of the group that's left over in San Francisco. Um,
It's been a
yeah.
while.
Anyways,
Those
yeah.
movies
So
played together. I don't know what happens in any of them.
yeah, Rise, Dawn, and War.
Yeah,
It's
they
kind of blue
one
together.
movie. I don't know.
But yeah,
They're
I
good.
really hope they just lean into the apes a little bit more, because I like the Noah character a lot, and I like the where they were going with his clan, and his friends and and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
I hope the next one ends with a Linkin Park song.
yeah. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
I bet you they could do that. That went around with like Oppenheimer. Remember when they had the Linkin Park song ending to Oppenheimer?
they did.
Have you
I
seen
didn't
that?
see that.
Yeah, yeah. Where
Things I've done was on at the end of it. That actually
yeah,
kind of fits though with
exactly.
Oppenheimer.
So
The things he's
I
done.
wonder. I bet you they could do that with Kingdom as well, when the girl's walking down with the
Man, I hope they
whatever the
do.
thing. Yeah,
I hope that exists. I'm gonna have to look for that now.
yeah.
It is the same ending.
Hmm.
You mean that in the end it does? No, no, it did matter. It was the things I've done. I think that was the song. I don't. I think that was it. There's one that has like the
No,
Halloween notes to it, the Halloween theme notes.
fair. All right, that's it for my watches, anyways, and reads this week, Chris. But it's a big weekend in the nerd space with
Yes,
San Diego Comic Con being this weekend, and there was,
I
I think
believe Phil
it
alluded
started
to
on
that
Thursday.
earlier. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the preview night was Thursday.
right. It seemed like there was something every day. Friday, Saturday were both very, very big days with lots of comic book talk, TV show talk, movie talk. I don't know if you want to really go through it all, Chris, but maybe just talk about some stuff that really had you excited.
Yeah, the DC comic stuff. I am not looking forward to absolute stuff, to be honest, but I am very curious about it, so I'm gonna check it out. And I liked hearing more about it, even if I didn't enjoy what they were saying, just because I'm interested. I
Yeah,
want to see what they're doing because
yeah,
I know it is meant to be like the answer to Marvel's Ultimate Universe, and that's very clear now. With like the
yes,
Batman who doesn't he's not rich, he doesn't have Alfred, he works as a city engineer or something. He's basically my neighbor, um, I guess. So
600 pounds of muscle.
yeah, he is a large guy. I don't know how people are not putting that one together.
I
Like,
can't wait to see him as Bruce Wayne.
yeah, well, there was the one sketch of him, and it's really weird. Like, you guys can't figure this out. Like regular Bruce, there's a suspension of disbelief there because he's just a regular sized guy. Like anybody
Mhm.
could do that. But how many juggernaut sized humans are there in Gotham City?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I like the absolute stuff just because it's making me curious. I want to check it out.
Hmm.
So that was a highlight. That was an early highlight too. Did you have like a comic highlight?
Yeah, that was kind of it for me. But I just wanted to hear more about the creative teams behind Absolute, which we
Oh
got
yeah,
a
a
lot
lot of
of.
good stuff there.
And hearing more about what Jeff Lemire is doing with his Flash run with Nick Robles, the Patrick Ewing doing,
Was it
not
Green
Patrick
Lantern?
Ewing, Al
Yeah,
Ewing,
yeah. Alan Patrick Ewing is the basketball player.
Patrick Ewing, yeah. Was he doing Green Lantern?
I thought it was
Because
Green Lantern.
somebody else. Oh, Tate Bromble is doing Green Lantern Dark, which I'm excited about. But then like there's a New Gods book from Rom V,
Yeah,
that's coming as well, and Lemire is doing Justice League Unlimited, and I think Mark Wade is doing regular Justice League.
with Dan
Uh,
Mora, and
yeah,
it's got
like
an interesting
holy
team.
cow.
Like Captain Atom is on the team. Star
Hmm.
Sapphire's on the team.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. It's different because
Yeah.
I like seeing different lineups. It reminds me of the Justice League Unlimited animated series where
Hmm.
you had constantly rotating members.
Hmm.
So I like that.
Hmm.
Also, the like Eric mentions, there's a new Laura Kinney Wolverine book that sounds cool. That was
Hmm.
announced. That was cool.
Yeah, Marvel's doing obviously, and it makes total sense now. They're going hard on Doctor Doom,
Yeah,
in the comics, which is kind of funny.
they are
I think it's what
pivoting.
it's called. One World Under Doom is kind of their big thing for 2025. So, like, I don't know if it's going to be a year long thing, but I think if when we talk about it, I think Avengers Doomsday is coming out in 2026.
Yeah,
So
May 26th.
if they kind of do a year long thing with Doctor Doom being involved all of 2025, then they're really kind of leading into 26 on the screen as well. Yeah, and that Wolverine Laura Kinney book sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Aaron says I owe
Mhm.
him Monopoly money and he's come to collect. But, good sir, I owe myself Monopoly money because I too was waiting for something that I was betting would happen and it did not.
Never happened.
No, it did. It was my own imagination, apparently.
Hmm.
I came up with it on my own, not the scoopers.
Yeah, so I didn't see much from independent stuff.
I didn't see
I didn't.
anything.
Yeah, I don't know what. Like, I know Keanu Reeves was there for Berserker. He's got something going on with that, but I don't
Wasn't he
read it.
there
So
because they're making the film adaptation or something?
yeah, and I think he's got another line of books coming out too. He seems to be going pretty heavy into that universe, but I'm not sure. I didn't hear anything really from Dark Horse, Boom, or Image. I don't know what else they really did.
I don't know if I've ever actually said this phrase, but I love that for him. That
Yeah.
he's doing this. I think it's just awesome. Dude
Yep.
loves this stuff. Let him write it.
Yeah, he really does.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's kind of you're gonna use that more often now, aren't you?
No, just tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it for comic books. What about TV show stuff? I know we did. There was some Superman and Lois. The Boys got announced of a spinoff. Some Interview with the Vampire stuff. Some Penguin stuff. What about for TV show stuff for you, Chris?
The only thing that matters is the Vampire Lestat trailer.
Ooh.
That is the only thing that matters. I when you sent that to me because I wasn't watching anything. I was actually on
Mhm.
a walk. I was on a nightly walk, and I saw you send me like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And I stopped what I was doing to find out how to watch it because the Twitter links are always blurry for me. It's like it's on
Right.
YouTube, and I think I became a feral animal at that point, trying to figure it out. I think I was like perched somewhere watching it. And this trailer, while it really shows nothing, it's nothing. It's a promo that they put together, I think, in 10 minutes.
Sam Reed's head is what we see.
Sam Reed's head. And it's beautiful. It's a 4-minute clip, and it is wonderful. I love it. I've said this before a couple times now. I've waited for this story. I'm finally getting it in a very big way. and I love Sam Reed's Lestat, so it's perfect for me. But what stood out to me, and then I'll shut up about it, is that they seem to have already put the time into getting the next season ready, which I did not expect. Sam Reed has already adopted the real Lestat persona. That's the way he is. And he's already got some fun lines, like when the lady comes with the makeup on him, do I look like I need it? And he's so serious.
What did he say? You're not hydrated, or you were dehydrated?
Your sound guy is dehydrated.
Yeah.
He's very dehydrated. These are the things that are bothering him.
Yeah.
Even when, like, because they made like meta, it was Roland Jones talking to him at first. It's like, I don't remember who you are. I just love seeing that they're getting it right. They know what they're doing. And then the music surprised me too, because again, they are actually working on it. They have something there. And in the book, his music is described as like the Doors. He's supposed to sound like Jim Morrison. And I think based on what we have, the song Long Face, he sounds like the Doors meet the Cure, kind of. And I am here for it. Cookie says, I've been singing Long Face all day. I keep checking Spotify. Where is the song? I'm enjoying it. Did you enjoy the trailer as much as I did? Because you had this, you weren't sure how you were going to react to this.
And that's exactly right. So I didn't. First of all, we didn't know this was coming. This was very much a surprise, because they were at Comic-Con last year, and we didn't get anything, as far as I remember.
Well, no, I think we got
Did we get a teaser?
Didn't we get the scene? The scene in Paris when they
outside the house, when
isn't that what we got?
Crazy? I can't remember now, but I felt like it wasn't. Maybe that's right, because I remember you talking about it and you weren't sure about it all, and maybe that's correct. But I didn't know that we were getting it, and I didn't expect anything, because season 2 of Interview with the Vampire just ended.
I expected nothing. I was just thinking we'd get these retrospective interviews. Oh, it was near a Comic-Con. We got the mansion scene. Okay,
there you go.
San Diego, we didn't get anything.
Yeah, so I expected,
it was in the fighter strike time.
Right, that too. So I was expecting, Mayfair Witches stuff, and maybe they'd, have a good laugh and talk about season 2, all that kind of stuff. So I was very surprised when I saw this. And one of the interesting things about it is when it comes on, you have no idea what it is. Like, it's a person, when you're looking at the screen, it's a person I don't know. I'm like, what's happening here? Who is this? And then all of a sudden, Daniel's voice, and then Sam Reed walks in. I'm like, whoa. And then the clip is 4 minutes long. There's no teaser that is 4 minutes long in the existence of teasers. Like, that's not how teasers work. But the more it kept going on, and like, oh, this is really interesting. And you're right, Chris, that the music aspect of the Vampire Lestat season 3 of Interview with the Vampire is something I was questioning. I'm like, I have no idea how this is going to work. And I was confused, obviously having seen Queen of the Damned, that there are a couple different ways that they could go with it. And the idea is growing on me. This, again, is a very different Lestat than we had seen before. With his, what's he got, the frilly cuffs on his shirt, and he's got the black eye makeup, and his hair is, I feel like his hair is in a perm or something.
I think it's shorter, and
it's shorter for sure.
He's got like highlights or something. He looks dirty. It looks like his hair is dirty.
So it took me a while to, after watching it it didn't take me a while, but as the minutes and the seconds tick by in this 4-minute teaser, just getting used to what it is. And I think that's what's important about this teaser is, that's what this is going to be.
I think that's exactly what its purpose. For the people who don't know, that's what this was for. The people that do know, I was like, yes.
It feels very different. This is a different Lestat than we had seen in the previous 2 seasons. No Jacob Anderson. Obviously, we get Daniel, Eric Bogosian in voice, but like this teaser was perfect in the sense of what it was trying to do. I think, like, it really did. It, for me personally, as we went through, talking about Interview with the Vampire for so long, and then getting into what happens next. Like, this is what I needed to understand what is happening now. And now that I see it, I still need to see it. I need to see Sam Reed up on a stage singing the song. But like in Cookie saying it, like, the song is catchy as shit.
It's
like
catchy.
They made a good song. I wonder who wrote these songs. I'm really interested to see who wrote this.
Daniel Hart.
Okay. So like the song is very good. The idea of this Lestat has me interested. And I really want to see more now. Like I really want to see him
Brother.
dancing. Yeah, I want to see more of this Lestat, and I think the teaser did an incredible job in getting me excited for what's to come.
I like that. I'm glad you liked it because I was kind of concerned. Like, is Emmet gonna like this? Are we not gonna be able to do season 3 next year? Because I am in. I believe Cookie's in too. I think we are both unhinged at the moment.
Yeah, the three of us are going to be very excited because I
But
think, and like you were saying, I think they know what to do. Like they have the idea of how to make it
they
work. I
get it.
think.
And
Yeah.
I saw something that said this is not an official clip from season 3. They just put it together for this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a rockumentary with Daniel interviewing him.
VH1.
I think that's what it is because they can't just say, "Hey Eric, we don't need you," after fans have grown accustomed to you.
That's right.
Because again, in the book, he's not in it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this is their way of making it work.
Mm-hmm.
This is VH1 behind the music, and then the story will happen around these like the first 2 seasons of the show. They also get to
Yep.
keep the name by doing it this way. So everybody.
Yes, that's right. Everyone's a winner.
So for me, this one Comic-Con, but there was some great other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman Cape Crusaders screen, that was. I'm sorry I didn't get to see it, of course, but the
Mm-hmm.
reviews are really positive.
Mm.
I'm very excited. Like there was a clip that was released, I think, earlier in the week,
Mm.
and it looked fantastic. It really does
Nice.
look like Batman the Animated Series, just updated, and
Nice.
not updated in the sense the time of it. It's just the quality of the animation and the looks.
Yeah, like
Um,
X-Men, the animated
exact,
series to 97. Yeah.
kind of, yeah. And they
Mm-hmm.
also debuted the news that the Penguin is a female now. They gender
Mm-hmm.
swapped the Penguin. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't mind gender swap characters. I think like a female Joker is a badass idea.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's the look and the name. Like her name is Oswalda. You
I gotcha.
couldn't call her like Ophelia or something. Oswalda. That's not like it sounds
A
weird.
little too on the nose.
Very, yes. And the
Mm-hmm.
penguin has a beak, of course, so that's odd. It's that much on the nose. Also, she dresses like Oswald. It's like the
Yeah.
same thing, but with lipstick. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Now would have been the time if you are going to swap to a female to change it a bit.
Yeah, like
Make her different.
do something fun with it. Why did you just
Yeah.
give me Oswald with lipstick and a dumb name?
Exactly. Yeah. I get that.
But that said, I'm gonna wait and see how it works. It might be cool. I might love it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I'm gonna love that name. I don't think anybody loves that name. But we'll see how the character turns out. I'm very excited. That premieres this week. I am probably going to watch all of it
Son of a
in a
bitch!
night.
That's
August 1st.
Wednesday
Yeah,
or Thursday. Holy cow!
maybe. I don't know.
The
I
first is
know.
Thursday, so
I know at 2 a.m. it'll be on Prime. So I will see you there, bud. So yeah, I really love the Cape Crusader stuff. Um, you're excited for the Penguin? You want to talk about that?
Well, I want to talk about Rings of Power. Did you watch the Comic-Con trailer?
I forgot it existed, but you can tell me.
Okay, so it is incredible looking. Like the visuals of season 1 are on point, but
Oh yeah, they are.
it seems like it's turned up for season 2. The action looks like it's turned up. Everything about it looks great. And they're really selling that action because I think that was a sticking point for some people last season. There wasn't enough action. I'm hoping they don't go too hard because you and I liking just with Duron and Elrond just talking to each other. So I hope they don't go too hard the other way. But yeah, the trailer is so good. It just looks incredible and really get you a good sense of what's happening with Sauron and more of the rings, and your buddy Celebrimbor is at it again. He looks like he's got some shit happening to him this season. So yeah, it looks really good.
And it's a full trailer, right? Not like a
yeah. It's 3.5 minutes. It's a doozy.
Oh, maybe I won't watch it then.
Yeah, there is some stuff I wish I didn't seen. Just like some characters that I didn't know were in it. Yeah, but it looks so good. I can't wait for it. And we're just about a month away from that.
He says Rings of Power looks amazing. Can't wait. I am excited. I am so excited. Not just because I want to watch the show, but I also love the debrief that we do. basically.
Okay.
So I'm so excited for Rings of Power. Uh, I saw they were talking about Hunt for Gollum too. Is that like part of the?
I didn't see that. I would have liked to read about
Oh,
that
okay.
though if they did.
Yeah, I saw some screenshots. It was on like the Hall H monitors or something.
I'll
Not
have to check
footage
that out.
or anything, but
Mm,
just like a thing. Because I'm really excited for Hunt for Gollum. To be honest.
yeah.
I love Gollum, so
Yep.
more
Yeah,
more of
and
that. I'm good.
yeah, I agree 100%.
Was there something Monster Squad I missed? Did I
Oh
miss
my
Monster
god.
Squad? No,
You can't do it. Aaron, don't do
don't do that to me. Did I miss
it.
Monster Squad?
Okay, so the penguin. Yeah, let's talk about the penguin.
Oh, creature. He
Um,
means Creature Commandos.
uh, Monster Squad creature. That's
Yeah,
pretty close.
don't do that to
Um,
me.
okay, so this is something that I've meaning to been meaning to ask you about the penguin, and like you're pretty, your thoughts about it on DC Unlimited are pretty. You're out there. You're not interested in the show because it's just a mob type show without characters. But does it still not look good to you? Does it not look like Colin Farrell is still good? Does it not look good visually? Sophia, and then in this trailer you get some stuff about the Hangman. So, like the idea, I understand where you're going, where you're coming from. The idea that it's a comic book show masquerading as just a mob drama.
Hmm.
But does that still not interest you in some way or another? Or are you just like an anti mob drama kind of guy? Is that what it is?
I don't really like mob stuff.
Okay,
Um, like Goodfellas, I love Goodfellas, of course, but I think everybody does. So that's is what it is.
sure.
But other stuff like I don't really care for The Godfather. I've
Hmm.
not watched Sopranos. I've only seen the finale,
Hmm.
and I thought that was okay. Um, and when it comes down, like for me, the way I'm approaching it is, as this is another thing, the timing of it. If this came out right after the Batman, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I just had the Batman. This is a good supplement. It's been 2 years. I
Yeah,
want the Batman. I don't want
yeah.
Colin Farrell. That said, yes, Colin Farrell as the Penguin still looks fantastic. I love
Hmm.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I do.
Right.
I love that Sophia Falcone is included in this because I think that's just really cool. The
Hmm.
Hangman stuff is a whole other thing I have theories about.
Okay.
I like it, but at the same time, it's just a mob thing to me. So
Sure.
my excitement is not there. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to hope for the
Hmm.
best,
Hmm.
but I think Rings of Power is going to be a better thing for me. That's a better fit.
Nice. Yeah. In September 19th, I think, is for the Penguin. Um,
Hold on, not the same shit, Aaron. Monster Squad is a magical film about a group of children who have to band together to stop the forces of evil, led by Dracula himself in a single
himself.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not the same, buddy.
um,
But yeah, Rings of Power is more my speed, and I think it is the. I think it's the 18th. I'm not going to be in town, I believe, so I'm not even going to
hmm,
watch it when it airs or
gotcha.
hits HBO Max. I'm going to be out
Um,
of town.
yeah. So I get I get where you're coming from, and that's totally understandable. In general, I'm not the biggest fan of mob stuff either.
Hmm.
Like Goodfellas, I'm okay with it. It's just okay for me. I'm actually not even the biggest fan of it. The Sopranos, on the other hand, I am. It's one of my favorite shows, and I'm worried that they're going to lean too far into that and like make it like it doesn't have to be a mob show, or it does have to be a mob show, but like they're doing his mother, just like Tony Soprano's mom, and that kind of stuff. But I think with the interesting thing and what I liked about this newest trailer is more of um, the Sophia stuff and the Hangman
Yeah,
stuff, and more of this talk, and they're really beating us over the head with it that this leads directly into Batman Part 2. And then they announced that the Penguin's going to be in Batman Part 2. I'm like, okay, so that's fine. Batman Part 2 is still 2 years away.
yeah,
So it doesn't really, I guess it leads into it. But I like the idea that we've got they are trying to tell a story here, I suppose. This epic crime saga that they are trying to tell. I am interested in that just to see where it goes. But like I'm here for Cape shit as well.
keep
Um,
shit.
So we'll see how it goes. But I'm all in on Colin Farrell as the Penguin. I think he's going to be incredible. I
Mhm.
think the story is going to be, still is going to be there. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing about taking the show as is versus what they're trying to sell us as a cohesive universe in some way, when the cohesion is separated by 2 years on either side of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Either yeah, it is 2 years either side, and I don't know. I mean, we'll see how like we'll see how it goes. It also worries me that it's the bridge between the two.
Hmm.
Because hypothetically, let's say I don't like this show and I stop watching it.
Yes.
Am I going to need to finish it to understand where he ends up? Like,
Right.
is Batman going to appear in the final 5 minutes, punch Oswald in the face, and the move Batman 2 starts with him driving the Penguin to Arkham or something? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
concerned about that, but we'll see how it
Yep.
goes, like you said.
Yeah. For sure.
Um, Now we can talk about it's not the monster, it's Creature Command.
Talking about the Monster Squad. Yeah.
No. Um, Creature Commandos being the star of the, as Aaron says, the official star of the DCU. I still think that's a weird move, but I kind of like the trailer. I like the way the animation looks. I like the
Hmm.
characters. I'm
Hmm.
not loving the humor. It reminds me of like Suicide Squad, kind of, which I enjoyed, but it's just a little bit, or like Peacemaker. It reminds me of Peacemaker,
Sure.
but in animated form.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I love that yet, but I do like the animation. I like the way it looks, the characters, all that's fun. And the story is also it's just a Suicide Squad with a different name,
Sure.
but I'm in for it. I think it's cool, but it's such a weird choice to say this is the start of the DCU. You know,
Hmm.
like why didn't you start with something else?
Or yeah, they could have just released this and then started with Superman. Like, you didn't have to say
You
this
didn't
was
have
the
to say
start
it,
of.
right?
Just say this is a continuation of the Peacemaker universe, or whatever. Because that's basically what it is. Like, at the start of the trailer, they talk about how Task Force X is disbanded, just like it does. It ends at the end of Peacemaker with
Yeah,
Amanda Waller doing her own thing. So, like, it's a continuation of the Peacemaker universe. So you could have just said that.
or you
So I
could
understand where you're coming at from that point as well.
just wink. If you know, you know. The
Yeah.
kids get it. Slappage. You
Yeah.
know. What did you think of the trailer, Aaron? Um,
Of Creature Commandos.
what did I call it?
Nothing. I'm just saying. Make
Oh,
sure the trailer of Creature Commandos, not the trailer of Monster Squad, of the 4K release or whatever.
Rock Until You Drop.
I like the trailer too. I thought it was I like you. I like the animation style. I'm really digging the characters. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for Frankenstein. I'm here for GI Robot. I'm in for the Bride. All that kind of
Definitely
stuff.
here for the
So
bride.
yeah, interested in to see how the characters roll out.
After watching it, I want Task Force Z. Yeah, that's the thing too. After watching, I'm like, well, now that we got this, let's do Task Force Z. Let's do some other fun stuff.
Yep, let's just do it all.
Yeah,
Every team put together by Amanda Waller.
and then maybe we'll have like, or Secret Six really would be cool,
Yes.
and you'd get a cool version of Bane with that.
Hmm.
I think that would be fun. Actually, I thought that's what we were gonna get at some point early on,
Hmm.
but we're not. I guess we don't know. Who knows? Who knows what James Gunn's doing?
Hmm.
All good stuff. I hope anyway.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and we got a new DC Studios logo, which is cool. Be cool
Like
to
the
see
logo.
that. I assume we'll see that on Creature Commandos, or I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to see that on the Penguin, will we?
Well, no, because that's the Elseworlds. I think that might get the Elseworlds banner.
Right.
I
Okay.
think.
So that's cool. We'll see that, and then we get to the Marvel one where we get some Fantastic Four news. We get some new names
Feature.
for movies. We get Thunderbolt stuff. We get the Russos back, and then we get obviously the big Doctor Doom reveal. So a lot of stuff packed into that Marvel panel. Chris, what stood out for you there?
Long Face is a good song. I feel like this is a war zone now when you
Yeah,
talk about this.
this is safe space.
I know, and I don't really even have that big of an opinion on it, to be honest. Uh, the Captain America thing is fine. I'm going to see it. Thunderbolts, I don't care, but
Right.
I'm going to see it. I thought it was cool. The David Harbour thing was funny. I thought you guys are going to be in costume. That was funny. My interest has changed on the Fantastic Four. I do want to talk about that.
Hmm.
When this project was announced, and just Fantastic Four in general, I'm really lukewarm on. I don't care about them,
Hmm.
just because maybe I haven't seen anything that really grabbed me. Like, oh, I like this. Even though I
Right.
do like the Tim Story movies, I think they're fine.
Hmm.
But I'm actually really excited for the Fantastic Four now. I like the cast a lot. Well, I really don't care for Pedro, but in this, but I like the cast that they picked. I think that visually, like that initial image they gave us, the anime, not anime, but the art, that was cool.
Yeah. Yep.
And I did see the trailer; it leaked.
Hmm.
It looks, it's not a trailer; it's like a promo thing they put together.
Yeah, that's I've never seen anything like that before, where they created something that they haven't even filmed yet, but it's like
I
they're showing us the tone of what it's going to
I
look like.
think we've seen something like that, but I can't remember
Hmm.
what it was.
Okay.
And it was probably from Marvel. But anyway, I liked that promo thing and the Galactus bit at the end. That's
Sure.
pretty cool. And then they
Hmm.
had the car flying around Hall H.
Hmm.
That was a cool presentation. So yeah, I'm actually excited for Fantastic Four, which I didn't expect. I also love the futuristic New York that they've got. Have you seen that?
Futuristic. Yeah, the
16.
futuristic in the past.
Yeah, it looks like the Jetsons or something. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And then we have the big thing. The Roosters are back. I love that. Very
Hmm.
excited. Love the Roosters being back because they need each
Hmm.
other. I think we could both agree the Roosters outside of the Marvel universe, they're kind of just there.
I would agree. They both need each other.
Yes. So this is a good pairing again. I'm happy to see it. I don't know about the Doom thing. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's odd. We don't have details. We don't know how it's going to work. I think there's a lot of shock value going on right now, a
Hmm.
lot of knee jerk reactions, and
Hmm.
I understand it. It's a thing. I get it.
Hmm.
I don't think I like it. I'm pretty sure that I don't, but I also haven't seen it, so I
Hmm.
can't confidently say, "Oh, I hate it. Should have never happened."
Right.
Which is, people. But that's my recap of the Marvel panel.
Yeah, I'm excited for Fantastic Four as well, mostly because it's set in the 60s at some point that feels a little more isolated from the rest of anything else Marvel
Hmm.
is doing. And that's what I'm excited about.
Hmm.
I think they should have their own pocket to work with. Obviously, I think we're obviously going to see them in future movies when we get all this major crossovers and Secret Wars and all that bullshit. But I'm excited for just like a standalone Fantastic Four movie set in the past, in a futuristic past, which is something that's also really kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
it's different.
yeah, I like that idea. I'm interested in that. The Russo thing makes complete sense. The the name change to what is it? Avengers Doomsday and then Avengers Secret Wars. Much like you said it at the start. Like I don't have a general opinion about the big stuff, the Avengers stuff, because I'm not a fan of that stuff. Like I like Infinity War. That's probably that. I think that might be my favorite MCU movie. But I could give or take Endgame. I could give away most of anything that happened after Endgame, any of the TV shows, the movies, or anything like that. So to get me really excited for what's to come, this was not that for me. The Robert Downey Jr. thing as Doctor Doom without any context, which I don't think is helping
No,
MCU. Like it's helping a little bit because people are talking about it, but
nonstop. That's cool. I actually like that
yeah,
people are
that's
talking.
very like people are talking about what happened, but there is no context. Is he Victor? Is he just Tony?
He's Victor.
Uh, okay, so I d- I think there needs to be some more context in what's happening here, and like there's so many questions. I have so many questions about these Avengers movies, and this probably isn't the place for it. But like, I don't know where this is supposed to be going now. Now that we know that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, I don't know how it works. I don't know how it looks, visually, story wise. I don't know how it works for general audience people, and that's basically their job to do all that stuff to make me understand and fix it all. But for me on the outside looking in when that was announced, I just kind of shrugged and said, okay, like if that's what they want to do, they'd have to they have to try very hard for me to get to watch an MCU movie. Like I'm not even watching Deadpool Wolverine, and it's not an MCU one. Like the Marvel universe is just outside of my lane as it goes. So a lot of the stuff that they announced with the Fantastic Four, I was excited about. The Russos making sense. Kang Dynasty, we hardly knew ye. I guess they were just gonna, that door is shut, and we're gonna quietly forget that they ever tried to make that happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. But the MCU stuff is not for me, and they didn't do anything to get me more excited for their stuff than I already had little excitement for.
Wesley says,
I wish we got a Thunderbolts trailer.
yeah, I would have liked that myself, just to give me something to care about.
Give me something a little bit more about that and how it's going to all work. Who are the Avengers going to be on this team against Doomsday? And
that too.
I don't know who these people are. What Avengers right now from anything post Endgame is a team that is going to fight Doomsday in 2 years?
Moon Knight and Howard the Duck.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do a lot of work over the next 2 years to, and I don't know what their slate is. Like,
I don't either.
I don't know. I need more context to be overtly upset or excited about it. And right now, I'm just a shoulder shrugger.
Well, I understand the people who say it's like a desperate attempt. I do get that. I can see it, and that's a take of a lot of people, and I respect that take. Everybody's going to feel a certain way about it, but I do think at the end of the day, we all just got to watch it and see. And also at the end of the day, we're all watching it anyway. I think there are very few who will say, I'm not seeing it and stick to that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Wesley says, Fantastic Four is one of my favorite teams. So excited to see a good movie, hopefully. Also, ending shot of the leaked teaser. Yeah, that shot is really cool. That's really, really neat. And I guess if that's like showing us the tone of this thing and what it's going to look like, Giant Galactus is confirmed. I love it. He also adds, I know I sound like a broken record, especially for Chris, Nick, and Phil here since they follow me on Twitter, but man, I'm ecstatic for Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. That's awesome. I love that people are excited. And
Absolutely.
A lot of people are. Like Nico had a great take. Robert Downey Jr. started the MCU and he's going to finish it. I think that's cool. Eric says Avengers 15 starring Robert Downey Jr., co-starring Robert Downey Jr. with Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Downey Jr. That reminds me of the quote from Tropic Thunder. I'm just a dude playing a dude who's playing.
That's going dude around. The one about him playing Jonathan Majors was a better one.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Karen says it's crazy how they're just ignoring Kang now. Yeah, like he never happened. But I kind of see it like this: to a mainstream audience, Ant-Man beat him and killed him.
Yeah.
Only people who watched Loki know, well, there was something else.
They're almost lucky that he wasn't more popular and wasn't more formidable.
Yeah. Although I really do believe you could have just recast Kang and kept on trucking, but
Marvel doesn't do that. They don't recast.
They really don't. So Doomsday it is. Finally gonna get Doom in a room again. Aaron's with you. I hear you, Emmet. There's really nothing getting me excited. Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. Like my friend Anthony Caruso is kind of feeling that too. I know a lot of other people who just aren't into the MCU right now. This did nothing for them, and that's
why there's got to be more. They have to give us a little bit more to sell us on. Like I'm trying. I don't remember when Infinity War and Endgame were announced, but it felt like there was a clearer path to those two movies at that time.
Well, it's also we had a steady Avengers team. We knew who our Avengers were. We had certain things in place. This, I mean, the last phase of it has really just been all over the map. And it's kind of hard, like because if you think about it, our Avengers, I guess, are Strange, Ant-Man, Cap. I don't know who else it would be. Maybe Hulk. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they build towards it. It feels like there's more pressure to build on it now that they announced this stuff. Like 2026, they got to film
now
next year. Like they got
to get rolling.
They're going to have to exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see how they really pull it off.
I'm excited though. I got it. I know. I'm actually excited for the Avengers stuff. I think that it's going to be something. Cookie says, I'm more into standalone stuff. I can't do another 10-year universe. That's kind of a thing, too. Like, a lot of us have been here since the beginning, and it's like, okay,
Hmm.
we have done it.
Hmm.
Maybe I just
It's
want to watch something in called. Like,
it's I.
Deadpool Wolverine is pretty standalone, actually.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if you'd get Kevin Feige in a room eventually and be like, "Hey, should you have stopped after Endgame? Should you
I
have
think so.
rebooted after Endgame?" Like, I think so too.
Yeah, I
But
think so.
like just everything that they put out in the past 2 years, it's just been hit or miss and all over the place, like story wise, and it's just been very strange.
I think the only things that really stood out to me were No Way Home, Moon Knight. I like Shang-Chi a lot, but can't tell you anything about it anymore.
And they haven't done anything with him either.
Yeah, so it's really just Moon Knight, No Way Home, WandaVision, and I guess if you want to count Deadpool and Wolverine, but it's really standalone.
Yeah.
Bill says, I think the multiverse stuff is running thin. That's like, I don't want any more multiverse stuff. I think we've done it. It's fun. It's done.
Hmm.
We've
It's
had
kind
so
of
many.
it's not going away
It
for
should.
them anyways.
It should. I think we have hit the wall.
Secret Wars is going to have 4 different Spider-Man in it, man.
Well, okay, like let's cut the snake's head off at Secret Wars. Then
Yeah.
let's do after that, call it quits. We're gonna move on. Move on
Hmm.
to the X-Men who are glorious and do
Yes.
whatever the hell you do in Fantastic Four.
Yep.
What says I will agree that tease Thanos out of the gate, but we won't even get Doom a couple movies before the Avengers that feature him. So that's what I'm wondering too. And I know we're running a
Mm.
little bit long here, but
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
this thing about Doom is I'm wondering if it's right now if it's early enough to insert him. Like Fantastic Four is a guarantee. I think we're gonna see him in that.
You're right.
But is there time to put a tease in the Thunderbolts? Like have him as a post-credit scene or Captain America? Is there time for these things? What is Robert Downey Jr. doing these days? You know, do we
Yeah.
have
So
time
I'm
to
just
put it?
looking at time.com put out a list of movies that are coming out. So Captain Brave New World's out February 14th,
Mm-hmm.
and then Thunderbolts is out May 2nd of 2025, so next year, and then Fantastic Four is next year. That'll be moving. I'm pretty
That's
sure
going in
it's
November, I'm
July.
sure.
Yeah, July of next year. So that's moving, and then it's supposed to be Blade. Is still got a date for November, so that's not. And then it's
Avengers time.
Doomsday. Exactly. That ain't it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I think Fantastic Four is the guaranteed one. He's gonna be in that somewhere.
Hmm.
But if they could insert him into a post-credit scene for the other one of the other two, that would
Hmm.
help because they're gonna ask a lot of the audience. I think.
100%.
But also another thing is Doctor Doom is disfigured. He generally doesn't take the mask off.
Yeah.
If he just got the mask on, I don't see the problem. But I also think that it's going to be hard to build this Doctor Doom, this giant villain, and oh, he's just here. And then you defeat him in the one movie, and it doesn't feel earned. Like Kang getting punched by Ant
Hmm.
Man. And it's a Daredevil born again. Fingers crossed, no multiverse. Yeah, I hope not. I'm hoping that is just a Hell's Kitchen hell of a story.
Do you know what Doctor Doom relevance and is like for the general audience? Do you know if people know who Doctor Doom is?
I assume they know, but they don't know the details. Like I would think they could just
Mm.
point him out. I would imagine some people
He's
think
got a
he's a
look.
robot.
He's
Yeah,
got a
the look.
look for sure. Yeah.
But I would think some people are gonna think he's a robot. Some people don't know he's a man. They don't know he's
Right.
disfigured. Just
Right.
that's a
Right.
robot or something. A Doombot.
Doombot.
That's the thing, a Doombot.
Hmm. Yeah, gonna be pretty interesting. They got 2 movies, 3 movies next year to
Yeah.
build an entire Avengers universe
Why wouldn't you
and
make Doomsday the
around.
second of the other event, the one in 27? That's what I was like.
Mm,
Why is that one the one in 26?
right.
More
Hmm.
Doomsday. Aaron only
Yeah,
knows
that's.
him in the movies.
Hmm.
In the movies, don't really. I mean, yeah, he's okay in the movies, but he's different.
Hmm.
I do know a little bit about him. I don't read the Fantastic Four.
Hmm. That's what I always thought too. He's more a Fantastic Four villain than
Well,
an
he's
Avengers
a
villain,
no, he is like a big Marvel villain, but
is he? Yeah,
primarily it's kind of like the Joker can work against all of DC, but he is
fair.
primarily Batman.
Fair enough. All right, that wraps up our long conversation about San Diego Comic-Con. There was a shit ton this weekend. Lots of good stuff for everybody, which is fun. Lots of Star Trek stuff too, which is kind of fun. All right, Chris, let's get the hell out of here. Where can people find you? Screaming about the penguin anywhere else?
I'm not screaming about the penguin until 2 weeks from now, I think. You guys can follow me on Twitter at thatchris70. You also follow the podcast I do with my buddies Phil Walsh and Anthony Crusoe over at DC Unlimited Pod. We talk all things DC there. It's a good time. As always, I would love it if you would follow this show at G of the Geeks. Emmet is better with the rest of the plug, so he will take over.
You can follow me on Twitter at EmmettDavis7, Gathering of the Geeks. It's available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. All you have to do is type in Gathering of the Geeks right in the search bar, and you'll find us right there. Once you find us, hit us up with a like and a subscribe, even a comment or two. We would really appreciate that. So thank you to Phil, Cookie, Aaron, Wesley. Thanks so much for checking us out, Wesley. Eric, Zedward. I think that was everybody. Thanks so much for watching on this fine Sunday evening. In saying all that, for Chris and I'm Emmet, we gather on Sundays.
End of session.